Mr. Farkas, good to have you with us. And as I mentioned, given the valuation, you have your share of those who question it. You also have a share of people as well, or detractors, I should say, who question some of the underpinnings of your business model overall. So let's just start there. I mean, how many actual chargers do you have on your network?
We've deployed over 15,000 chargers, totaling 24,000. But I think that the problem here is how you categorized us as a business. We're not a supplier of charging equipment. First and foremost, we are an owner and operator of charging stations. Yes, we do sell charging stations to others, but our main business is to partner with property owners and deploy charging infrastructure in their locations under long-term exclusive contracts where we own the charging stations, and our profit is going to come from in the future from the sale of fuel, not necessarily the sale of the hardware. Although we do generate most of our revenues today from the sale of hardware because we make an amazing piece of equipment, our real business is really selling fuel.
Right.
And that's going to take place in more volume, obviously, when there are more EVs on the road.
And getting those utilization rates up. But back to charging stations. So you say you have over 15,000, but even there, I know there are people who say that creates a false impression because a lot of these are residential chargers. They're not networked and they're not accessible. Is that, in fact, the case? And that actually there's about, of that 15,000, 8,100 or so that are residential stations that are non-networked?
That is correct. When we talk about deployed charging stations, we talk about all charging stations that people can use. In actuality, if you look at the combined amount of Blink and the companies that it's acquired over its lifetime, we've deployed over 24,000 charging stations. But today out there in the field, there's about 15, 16,000. And you are correct. A lot of them are for residential purposes, and we have both networked and non-network charging stations for the residential market. In addition, we have charging stations in IKEA, Whole Foods locations, Burger Kings, McDonald's, literally across different industries. And our plan is just continuously grow our business in tandem with EVs hitting the market.
But let me just understand, though. I mean, if a charging station's in somebody's garage of their home, I'm likely not going to use it. I mean, how is that going to contribute to profitability, given utilization rates are the key here for your business?
That is correct. Utilizations are the key. Single-family home chargers, yes, those are chargers that are deployed, but they do not bring us recurring revenues. Although when you do buy one of our home charging stations, you typically get a credit for our Blink network. You access the Blink mobile application, and people who use our charging stations at home are more inclined to then go out when they need additional range to be able to go use our charging stations in the public domain. One thing that's different about us between us and every other EV charging company that you have out today, we are the only vertically integrated EV charging infrastructure, fully integrated. We provide a home charging station all the way up to DC fast chargers that are along highway routes, superchargers, and we have everything in between. And we give a deployment model on every type of location that there is, and multiple models in being able to pull out that hardware, whether the property owner wants to purchase that hardware, maintain it and own it on their own, to us paying for everything, literally from the charging station to the hardware, to paying for the networking services, in addition paying for the installation. And also we have property owners that they don't mind making capital improvements in their locations, but they don't necessarily want to take the technological risk or manage and run the entire offering. So we have different offerings for all of our different types of property owners, and it's one of the things that separates us from everybody else. You have ChargePoint, who sells hardware. You have Electrify America, who owns and operates, and we're the only one who's able to provide a charging solution for whatever type of property owner there is and whatever type of location there is with the right hardware solution.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.